Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a lovely day so far. In today's video, as you can see from the title down below, I'm going to be doing a full face of Valentine's Day makeup. So when I think of Valentine's Day and I think of the makeup that I would wear for such an occasion, obviously I think pink. Obviously that is the colour, like pinks and reds. It's the colour of love, so we're going to be doing something very pink, very blown out, very sexy and smoky on the eyes, really soft, glowy skin, and I'm just going to see how this whole look turns out. I've got an idea in my head of how I want this to go. Let's see if it turns out that way. I am going to be diving into a new eyeshadow palette. I picked this up before Christmas. I picked this up in the Black Friday sales and I haven't had a chance to dig into it yet. So this is the Sweet Pinks by Juvia palette, and obviously if this doesn't scream Valentine's Day, I'm not sure what does. And I absolutely love Juvia's Place eyeshadows. I think the formulas are fantastic, and this is the colour scheme for today's look. So I'm really excited to get into this, but I will be starting with the base. I have, of course, already done my skincare, so let's just dive into creating a soft, glowy skin. So I'm going to start with the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. I have this in the shade F2, which is slightly too dark for me, but I'm just going to apply a sheer layer all over the face. I'm going to keep it like more on the outside of my face. I have found through trial and error that I don't like putting this specifically in this area here. For some people it might work, but for me I like that area to be a little bit more matte because I find that I get a little bit oily there even though I have very, very dry skin. So I'm going to keep this basically everywhere else apart from that area under my eyes, and I'm just going to blend it in with a brush. So then for foundation, I tested this one recently but in a slightly different shade, so I went back to Wilko and I got my winter shade. So this is the Essence Stay All Day 16-hour long lasting foundation, and this is in the shade 08 Soft Vanilla, and this is much more my winter shade. So I'm actually going to mix this because I don't want too fuller of coverage. When I tested this out it was very, very full coverage and it was very matte, so I'm going to put one pump of this, pump and a half, on the back of my hand, and I'm going to mix it in with a pump of the Inkey Polyglutamic acid just to shear this out a little bit and to add in a bit more of that hydration. So I'm going to mix these together on the back of my hand just with the end of an eyeshadow brush to make sure that they're really well combined, and then I will dot this all over my skin. Like, look, that's the perfect colour for me. Don't know why I didn't pick this one up in the first place. So then I've dotted that all over, and what I've got left on the back of my hand, I'm going to start picking up that on the sponge so that it's not taking away the coverage from my face, and I'm just going to blend this out. Like I say, I want a nice soft base, and this combination of products is absolutely beautiful. I love mixing the polyglutamic acid in with a lot of foundations. I think that's a really great hack. I am someone that doesn't like incredibly full coverage. I mean, there's a time and a place. There's a time and a place for an incredibly full coverage. However, this for an everyday, for like most days, unless it was like a really special occasion where I wanted full coverage, I would probably do this because it just makes it such a beautiful amount of coverage. It still covers over everything, and I've tried this with so many foundations and I don't think I've tried one yet where this doesn't make it look beautiful. Even with like more full coverage foundations like the Revolution IRL, it just makes it so glowy, so soft, so natural. It really makes it feel really natural and really comfortable on the skin as well, which is of course a bonus. But you can still see all of that glow coming through from the Liquid Glow e.l.f. filter thing. So for concealer, I'm going in with another Essence product. This is the Skin Loving Sensitive Concealer, another one that I tested recently, and again, really like it. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of this on the inner corner of my eyes. This is obviously quite light, but I'm brightening I'm brightening the skin. So I'm just going to put a little bit down the centre as well, but mostly focus this like around the eyes. I'm going to do a tiny bit of cream contouring, which is risky, but I'm doing it anyway. This is the Revolution Cream Bronzer, Ultra Cream Bronzer in Light, and I'm just going to dip very, very lightly into this with the Expert Face Brush from Real Techniques. And I'm just going to stamp this first in the hollows of my cheeks and keep this quite far back. I'm going to go in with bronzer afterwards, but I just want a little bit of chiseling, you know? So I'm going to like run this under my chin as well, along the jawline, and also along the top of the forehead as well. And then I'm just going to blend it out very, very lightly. So once all of that cream bronzer is blended out, I'm going to go in with a big fluffy brush, and I'm going to just tap into a tiny little bit of this that's obviously very well loved. This is the Revolution Pro CC Perfecting Pressed Powder, and I'm going to use this big fluffy brush and I'm going to lightly set over the centre of the face, just so that it doesn't get too glowy down the centre, because although I do want to be glowy, I want to be glowy like here and like here. I don't want to be glowy here, you know? So I'm not using too much, but I'm using it on a big fluffy brush just to very lightly set over the areas where I need it and nowhere else. So I'm going to move on to powder bronzer now. So I'm going in with the MUA Bronzed Perfection Matte Bronzer. This is in Sunset Tan. I'm just going to warm up the complexion a little bit, and I'm using, of course, my Real Techniques blush brush, and I'm just sweeping this across everywhere where I put that cream bronzer to really set that in nicely, but also like just warm up the skin a little bit, add a little bit of that bronziness back in. Obviously, well, the vision that I've got in my head is quite a lot of colour on the eyes, so I know I'm going to want a lot of colour in the skin, so going in with a healthy layer of bronzer. And then for blush, I'm going in with the Collection Glow Blush in the shade Bashful. So obviously this has that really soft glow in it as well, which adds glow to the cheeks as well as the beautiful pink. But it's just all of these layers. I need to blend that. Don't mind me. I need to blend that. But adding the layers of glow just makes everything look really seamless and really glowy by the end. I'm going to go back in to the e.l.f. Halo Glow, and I'm going to do that trick. I've never done this before, so if this completely ruins everything, then do forgive me. But I'm going to get this on the like thumb pad, like the pad of my thumb here, get some product on there, get it on both sides, so pressing my hands together there and tapping across the top of my cheeks. Okay, yeah, that works, doesn't it? I think I got too much, but yeah, it works. Wow. I wasn't expecting that to work as beautifully as it has. I really hope you can see how soft all of that looks on the skin. That looks so beautiful. I feel like I brought it in a little bit far on this side. I'm just going to tap over with that powder brush. I haven't put any more product on there, but just knocking that back a tiny little bit. Yeah, that looks so soft and so glowy. I may go in with more like powder highlight at the end. I'll see how I feel. I'm just going to quickly do my brows. I'm going to use the e.l.f. Ultra Precise Brow Pencil. This is in the shade, gosh, that's small writing, neutral brown. Shade neutral brown, and my e.l.f. Wow Brow that is somewhere on this table. You've seen it before, I use it in every video, so I'll be right back when I've got some brows on my head. So, brows are on. Let's get into the eyeshadow palette. So like I say, this is the Sweet Pinks by Juvia, and I am going to swatch these so that you can see the different finishes, the different formulas. The Juvia's Place shimmers are absolutely incredible. So I'm gonna just go off and swatch these. Oh, and wait for my white balance to sort itself out, and then I'll be right back and I'll show you the swatches and we'll create something very pink, I'm sure, on the eyes. So that's how all of those swatches are looking. The mattes are so pigmented. This is like a standard Juvia's Place formula. If you have tried them before, then you'll know. The glitters are incredible, so reflective. I'm trying to like catch it in the light so that you can see how beautiful they are. The shimmers are beautiful, so intense, and the mattes also so incredibly intense. Now I just need to decide what I want to do on the eyeballs. This colour, that was like, I have swatched all of these twice, however that shade, that matte shade, which is this one on the top row, that came out that colour just with one swipe. Like, that's so pigmented, so intense. I think I want that like along the lash line and probably like smoked out. We're probably going to do a wing, but what shimmer do I want and what other mattes do I want? Do I want to use every colour? Can I possibly use every colour? Let's see where we go. I will also say there's 3 mattes and 3 shimmers, which is my perfect amount. I'm going to start with a big fluffy brush and I'm going to dip into this shade on the bottom row. This is a matte and I'm going to use this as like my transition. So tap off the excess and I will look into a mirror, look like down into a mirror and work this into the crease. This is so pigmented, so easy to blend, but also really quick to like lay down quite a lot of colour. I really like that shade. It's not too like bright either. This is like my perfect pink toned transition. Obviously if you were doing something like a blue look or something like that, then you would want something different. However, for a pink makeup look, you almost need that pink tone to blend it all out, and this is really pretty. I'm going to use the same brush and I'm going to dip into very lightly on the end of the brush that darker shade on the top row, and I'm going to just tap off the excess and stamp this on the outer corner and blend that in. So I've also just put that shade, that hot pink shade, under the eyes and then blended it out with that first more corally shade. I'm going to go in with a really small little fluffy brush now into that same darker pink. I'm just going to really intensify this colour on the very outer corner. So I'm thrilled with how those two colours are mixing together. Obviously they were both mattes and they are quite similar, so I feel like that's blended together really nicely. Now I'm just trying to decide which shimmer shade I want. I feel like these two are more like corally orangey toned, so I'm deciding between these two. This one, I think I'm going to use this one, which is the one that was on the bottom row, this one here, and I think I'm just going to use my finger. So I'm just swirling into the pan. That's what that's looking like there. I'm going to be very careful with this. Look down into my mirror and just tap this along the like blank space, the inner half of the lid there. That colour is so pretty. It's almost got, unintentionally with my jumper here, it's almost got a purple undertone to it. That's so pretty. I love it. So I'm just buffing over that top edge with the same brush, no more product, but just making sure that's all really nice and blended, and I'm thrilled with how that's looking, honestly. I think I'm going to put a little bit of a different highlight on the inner corner because I don't want this to look like I've got pink eye. I want this to look like a makeup look, not like I've got an eye infection. So I'm going to go in with the Elf Baked highlighter in Moonlight Pearls. I'm just going to grab a really small little flat brush and I'm going to tap this right on the inner corner. Yeah, see, that just finishes it off for me. and there isn't anything in this palette that could have done that, so I'm just going to use this highlight instead. This is so pretty for the inner corner, highly recommend. So I'm just going to go in with a little bit of this. This is the Revolution Nude Eyeliner. I'm just going to brighten up the waterline. I can't do this on camera. I need to get so close to my mirror that I won't actually be able to show you. So that just brightens up the waterline a little bit. And then for the, I'm going to do a wing. I was umming and ahhing, do I do a wing, do I not do a wing? I'm going to do a wing. So this is the Profusion Everlasting Waterproof Liquid Liner. This is my favourite liner of all time. And then I'm going to go in with a matching mascara to the eye look that I've got on. So this is the Revolution 5D Whip Lift Mascara. So I'm going to go off camera, I'm going to do these and then I'll be back. So just close up the finished eye look. It's smoky, it's pink, it's romantic, it's Valentine's. I love how this has turned out. Don't look too closely at the wing. I'm glad I said that I was going to do the wing and then the mascara at the same time, so you can't see exactly how wonky they are. They are on completely different trajectories in life, but let me zoom out and we'll finish the face. So I'm going to go in with the Essence 8 Hour Matte Comfort Lip Liner. This is in the shade Rosy Nude. I just want something that's not going to clash too much with the eye look. I want something quite neutral. So just scribbling this all over. So I am just scribbling in the lips a little bit with that, and then I'm going over the top with the e.l.f. Tinted Lip Oil. This is in the shade Pink Kiss, and I'm hoping that this is going to be quite sheer but glossy and hydrating. That's beautiful. That feels lovely on the lips. That's maybe a little bit dark actually. What do I do? What do I do? Do I just tap a little bit of concealer over the middle? I think I do. Yeah, that looks better, doesn't it? That was looking a little bit dark there. So I think just a little bit more blush, because now that I've got all this pink on the eyes, I need more pink on the face. It's always worth like reevaluating once everything's done. So a little bit of that, and then do I want more highlight? Probably. Do I want that powder highlight on my cheeks as well? I think I maybe do. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that baked highlighter. I'm going to tap that very sort of specifically. Yeah, just there. And I'm not going to blend it out any more than that. I just want a tiny little glint more. Just like that. Just the tiniest little bit. Just to, you know, top the cheeks a little bit. But I feel like that looks so nice and glowy. I'm thrilled. I'm going to put a little bit down my nose. This is where I go overboard and I just drown myself in it. Yeah, I feel like that looks so much better. Like the skin is glowy, it's pink on the cheeks as well as on the eyes. I really like how that's turned out. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have tried this palette. I've tried a few Juvia's Place palettes now. I tried one before Christmas that was a complete flop. I will link that video up here. But this is a really, really great one. I think that this has turned out so pretty. So let me know what you think. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you so much for spending some of it with me. Bye!